just joining us, or perhaps watching on YouTube in the future, we're playing a 4-color control deck that's got Geist Trafts, and Crackling Dooms, and Tasigurs, and 4 Snapcaster Mages, and Hide and Seek, and Armageddon, and Surgical, and Extirpate, and Lingering Souls. Basically, we have everything you could ever ask for, so let's do it. Excellent. Creeping Tar Pit Lightning Helix. Just like we drew it up, chat. Just like we drew it up. But serious, I have a question for you. My last day as a bachelor is October 5th, and I was wondering what cost would it be to have you construct the most competitive deck you can around my favorite card, Grave Titan, and play it specifically on October 5th. Usually I look for a $50 donation to build a card around a certain deck. As for playing it on a specific day, especially if you donated, I don't know, probably by September 5th, it would definitely be towards the top of the queue, and I could mark it to just wait till October 5th to play it. Build a card around a deck? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. See, you understand, chat. Everybody understood what I was saying. Alright, so... Alright, we're gonna lose the Gideon, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I secretly work for Wizards of the Coast. They love me. They are slowly killing themselves. They are at 16 and we haven't done anything yet. So that's good for us. This is probably Sacred Foundry. And this will probably be... So wait, let's double check the colors we need for this deck, right? I probably need... I need singles of all 4 of our colors, obviously. I probably don't need... Double red is probably the priority. They took my Gideon, which is my only double color card. I have Liliana the Last Hope, which is double black, technically speaking. We have 1 double white and 1 double black card. I probably want this to be red-blue. Yeah, I think I want it to be red-blue. Double red is probably okay, so I can bolt, snap, bolt. Why didn't I play the Tasigur? Should I have played the Tasigur into a Liliana here? Or Field of Ruining Me, sure. Maybe I was right to just jam the Tasigur there. Now I'll get black, and then this will get Steam Vents. So remember when you're delving out Tasigur, you want to control the cards that are left in your graveyard. So that way when you activate Tasigur's ability, you have some semblance of control. Feels bad, man. Just gonna blast this off. Is this Mardu blue or Jeskai black? What do we think? Are we Mardu blue or Jeskai black? Moist Mardu. Esper red, that's right. Like there's another one in there too, right? Esper red. We're red Esper. I said a doom, chicka doom. I said a doom, chickamaka, chicka doom. White Grixis, obviously we're White Grixis. Come on now. Obs White Grixis. That is not the white source I wanted for Christmas. Should have delved everything and let Snapcaster eat the edict. I don't know. Snapcaster Mage is a pretty valuable tool in this matchup. Your Tiller Nephilim. This is the 4-color control deck of your. Rakdos Azurius Fight Club. I like that one. You're in control. There we go. That's like the slam dunk deck name. You're in control. That's just like A plus, Jackal Girl. That is. We got, see, look, we just had to discuss amongst ourselves. They're at 4 cards here. So small timing mishap on their part. We could be too lower if they had a sequence a little better. They probably were missing the stop. It's pretty good. All right. Geist of Saint Trash, I choose you. If they had a Liliana, they probably would have played her last turn, so Geist of Saint Trash could run the distance here. I would like you. I would like to kill you. Oh, yeah. Just get him. Get him. Man, I was going to compliment my opponent on their green-black build, and they played Dark Confidant. I'm glad I didn't compliment them on their configuration of green-black. I almost did, and then they played Dark Confidant, and I was just like, this is nonsense. All right, kill your thing, drain you. I assume they're gonna have a decay or a push for this angel token, but they're just like swimming upstream here, right? What cost 3? They have a dismember? There you go. Dark Confidant has mostly been eclipsed by Tireless Tracker. You just don't need both. Is basically what it comes down to. Wow. Our main deck's actually pretty well configured for this matchup, right? People don't use Aetherling as a control finisher because it costs 6 mana. And 6 mana is like infinite mana. Because I think we're pretty far ahead there regardless, Alex Jet, and I want to hold the extra cards in my hand just in case something goes wrong. Yeah, Blessed Alliance is like the only card I might bring in here, but I'm not actually sure what I want to cut. I guess Countersquall isn't that good. You could maybe argue Collective Brutality should come in to kill Bob and Scoos. Maybe I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to cut these Squalls. I'm going to bring in the Alliance and the extra Brutality. I think Crackling Doom is great here. Crackling Doom is great. Liliana's, like, annoying for us, but, like, we have Lingering Souls and Snapcaster Mage, so maybe she's even not that bad. And we've got Burn Spells. Pro tip, don't mulligan functional hands against decks full of discard spells. Do not mulligan functional hands against decks full of discard spells. This deck is kind of sweet. It basically just gets to play all the best cards. Sure, you have a spell bob. I hope you get blood mood one of these matches. You're the worst, BDP. Why you gotta wish that upon me? Why you have to be so mean? Alright, so I'm gonna give them the option to trade this for my Lingering Souls here. This deck is hot garbage. Is it legal to show? It's a good question, really. The legality of showing this deck on stream is iffy. Thank you, Thivs, for the bits. I appreciate it. Probably ban this Blessed Alliance if they plus her. Would EE be an efficient tool than Doom versus all their 2-drops? No, I think Doom is very good in this matchup. The people implying we should cut Doom, I think you're off base. Doom is like removal and reach. I could see boarding in engineered explosives being okay, but I don't think I would want to cut Crackling Doom to do so. So I want a second white here. I probably want a second blue. God, look how perfect our mana is, chat. Can we all just, like, take a moment and appreciate how perfect the mana base is? Nobody cuts Doom. Doom is the one who cuts. Love it. Yeah, you got a Charmagoofy. What if, instead of your Charmagoofy, you didn't have one? And I'm at 21. Perfect mana. I think this deck has too many 3s to fit Nimble Obstructionist into. How can a mana base this perfect contain Hallowed Fountain? So, there's a chance they have Damnation in their deck since they saw Geist. Hopefully they don't have it here. I think I'm just supposed to put the Geist into play here and just, like, run them into the ground very quickly. If they have Damnation, I'm sad, but if they don't have Damnation, we're just, like, in an absurd spot. Scavangling Ooze with 1 creature in the bin. Deal. Dismember, 2 creatures in the bin. Got it. Do you have a green source? Oh, you don't have a green source? Would Deathrite Shaman be okay in Modern? Nope. Please no. No, thank you. Okie doke. Geist was dirty in this match. Geist. Are sweepers good against mid-range? In general, I think you want sweepers in matches like this. Not only because of Geist, but also because matches like this generally come down to a Protect the Queen style strategy, where the person with the last threat in play is the one who wins the game most of the time. So having the ability to clean their threats out as many ways as possible is valuable. Yeah, I agree. I think if Geist is good anywhere, it's definitely with decks that involve lots of removal. Yeah, the spell bomb sequencing was poor on the opponent's part, and we're punishing them for their poor sequencing here. They could have gotten our Lightning Helix with that. All right, well that was a very quick 1-0-2-0. While we're waiting for the second match in this league to pop, I'd just like to thank everyone for hanging out today. I got over 1,000 people this afternoon. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a great start to your week, middle of your week. My name's Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30 plus hours a week. I can't claim to have built this really sweet 4-color control deck that we're playing. This is a viewer-submitted deck list. Most of the decks we play here on stream are viewer-submitted decks. If you're interested in learning how I could play your deck on stream at some point in the future, be sure to check out bit.ly/who-will-sell-out. Past supporting me by sending me deck lists that are sweet to play. You can also support my content by subscribing on Twitch. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here day in and day out. I wouldn't be here without their very wonderful support. Finally, you can support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. Cardsphere.com would love to help you turn some of your cards into other cards direct with other players. There's no haggling. They just take 1% fee off the top. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience. Using code Jeff12, you can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. And of course, this stream just wouldn't be possible without viewers like Anironix, Justin Nivik, and all of y'all out there. If you are enjoying the content, make sure you hit the follow button at the very least. Following the stream doesn't cost you anything. It lets you know when I go live and with what. If you can't catch everything live, like if you have to leave before this league is finished, be sure to check out my YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. 100% of my streams get archived there, and I break them up by deck, so you can watch just the matches that you care about. There is literally days and weeks and probably close to months worth of content up there at this point. I've been streaming for a while. So we just ban Blood Moon if we see it? Yeah, I'm probably not going to play games against Skred. But against non-Blood Moon decks, we have tools to win most things, I think. Honestly, the biggest issue with Deathrite Shaman is that you can cast it off of Watery Grave. You can cast it off of Underground Sea. That's the biggest issue. I don't think you need more ways to deal with big things. We have 4 paths and 2 Crackling Dooms. I think stretching the mana base further to try and play Tribal Flame seems like a not worthwhile inclusion. We just destroyed Green-Black Rock. We picked them thoroughly apart. We do technically have 4 ways to kill Blood Moon. Modern staple Hide and Seek takes Blood Moon off the table. Just saying. For those that aren't familiar with modern staple Hide and Seek, it does take Blood Moon off the table. Seems pretty good. Kill your thing, kill your thing, kill your thing. Geist of St. Traft. Can't wait to see how we do against Tron and Valakut. Why would you wish those things upon me, Frag Marty? Why would you wish those things upon me? Don't say things like Tron and Valakut. That's just rude. Have a little respect. Yep. Okay. Okie doke. They named green or red here. They named red. We're about to get Ponza'd. Do I want to play a match against Ponza? Do I want to play a match against Ponza? I really don't. Let's just move on with our lives. Ponza. Mid-range decks are exactly the type of deck that Ponza looks to prey on. So we're just not... Just move along with our lives. Move along with our lives. Never forget, chat. If you are miserable while playing a match of Magic, you have one person to blame. Yourself. Every match of Magic you play is optional. If you're not having fun, you should reassess why you're playing the game and then change something so you're having fun. Plus, I'm sure there were people out there that needed concedes match game 1 on their bingo card. It's funny, gamer, like, you're like the 4th person today that have you seen an uptick in X? There's just so many decks in Modern that, like, there isn't a huge uptick in anything. It's just, like, sometimes you hit a sample where you just play the same thing a couple times. That's just how it goes. Angel's Grace. I don't understand what problem. Like, Angel's Grace is good against Eidolon of the Great Revel, I guess. But other than that, I have a hard time figuring out where Angel's Grace would be good. All right, Tron. We have Disruption and a Clock. We've got a couple of Damping Spheres in the sideboard, so this is probably hard, but not unwinnable. I'm going to put this into play tapped. I'm probably going to shock Hallowed Fountain in next turn, flash in Snapcaster Mage, and then play Geist on 3 and just try and run them down. Ponza is on the no-fly list. It doesn't generate interesting games of Magic, in my opinion. Nah, I think Vindicate would be sweet in this format. Alright, so we're getting turn 4 Tron. Technically turn 3 Tron here. We'll see. We'll see. Just burn him. We have the technology. Sure. Alright, so this is the part where we hope the 48 card deck with a bunch of demonic tutors has nothing. Technically, it's optimal to play the Geist of St. Traft post-combat here, but I'd much rather just attack and press my auto pass hotkey. Vindicate would go a long way towards giving white-black decks more legs against decks like Tron, just because it's a main deckable Stone Rain. That's not just like bad like Stone Rain in a lot of places. We are going to concede to Ugin here. So we have 2 copies of Damping Sphere. Collective Brutality is pretty bad. Crackling Doom's pretty medium. Hide and Seek's good at tucking worm coils, which is nice. Azcanta is too slow. Not interested in Last Hope. Boom Bust is fine. The real question, we've not busted anybody yet, Zach. The real question here is 2 land destruction cards worth bringing in Surgical Extraction to take their Tron lands away? It's probably not. It's probably not. Yeah, I think you want a minimum of 4 ways to destroy their lands before you bring in Surgical in a matchup like this. I'm gonna mute myself while we die to Tron here really quick and eat a snack. I board in Surgical against Tron if I have enough ways to destroy land. So, like, in Green-Black Rock, I have 4 Field of Runes and 2 to 3 Fulminator Mages. In that deck, I board in Surgical. In Blue-White Control, I board in Surgical because I have 4 Field of Runes. So, if you have enough ways to destroy their land, I think Surgical is a good complement to those. Completely disagree with that. Discard spells do not make Surgical worth bringing in this matchup. It's explicitly land destruction spells, so you can build your own Crumble to Dust, basically. In general, I am not a huge fan of Geist of St. Traft in Modern, but I think if there's any deck that Geist has the potential to be good in, it's this deck, because this deck has a lot of removal to keep most boards clear. I think Putrid Leech is much worse than Scavenging Ooze. Scavenging Ooze is arguably one of the main reasons to play Black-Green Rock, It gains you health. It hoses random graveyard decks. It makes Snapcaster Mages worse. It becomes a large threat in late games. You're right. It's not ideal against control decks and combo decks, but I think it is a big draw to playing the archetype, and if it didn't have anti-synergy with itself in multiple copies, I would play 4. Nobody really plays Hex anymore. Hex is dying. Dead on the way out. I'm planning to stream some Artifact when that releases from Valve. And I'm planning to stream some Warhammer Champions when their digital version releases. Their game's been very good so far from what I've played. Yeah. Hex had a lot of complexity in it. And then their game was good, but they succeeding in the games industry is not easy. There are a lot of projects that are good projects and even some that are managed well that fail in the games industry because that's just how it goes. All right, I'm going to hide this. Fetch land is perfect here. So what you do with Boom is you hold priority when you cast. You go Boom, destroy this, and then in response to your Boom, you crack your fetch land. So, this is 2 mana Stone Rain. Yeah, honestly, one of Hex's biggest issues was that it had a split personality. They really should have, like, focused on PvP or focused on PvE instead of, like, splitting their small team. They didn't have enough resources to do both effectively. Of course, King Nerd. You don't even have to sub to get one of those, but I appreciate that you did. Ah, we made the mistake of killing the tower, chat. Dirty Tron players always have a second tower. Should have known. Should have known. Yeah, I'm probably snapping Boom next turn. Probably snapping Boom on this tower. The Warhammer card game is really sweet. I've been playing that in paper. The Warhammer paper digital integration is just, like, absurdly good. Just, like, A+. I think a lot of people would kill for the type of integration the Warhammer has with their paper card game. Honestly, I think them adding more formats at the end there, Aro, is them just, like, trying to pull whatever remaining low effort money they can out of the system. Snap, Boom, never thought I'd hear that. Thank you for the land destruction, Bitsack. We do need some more pressure here. The fact that they played a non-Tron land here is good for us, because it means that we can take a turn off from destroying their lands to play Lingering Souls to get more pressure going. No, yeah, can't blame them at all. Get what money they can out of the system. Like I said, I really enjoyed my time I spent playing Hex. Their game was a lot of fun. Just, you know, I can recognize when it's time to move on. We are playing 4-color Ponza. That is exactly correct. So Jeremiah, the Warhammer card game is Games Workshop's IP, but the software, and I believe the printing of the cards too, is being handled by a third-party company called PlayFusion. So it's not just Games Workshop. It's a company called PlayFusion. They also designed a smaller card game called Light Seekers that has a physical and digital crossover as well. Ponza Mirror is the best. I'm gonna say that I don't believe you when you say the Ponza Mirror is the best. I'm gonna call you a liar. I would like everybody to remember when our opponent assembles Tron next turn that we Stone Rained them 3 times this game. So when they Tron us next turn, we tried our hardest. We gave it our all, chat. This was all we could muster. If we can't win this game, the matchup is probably unwinnable. The Tron Mirror is basically a Ponza Mirror. Ain't that the truth? Nova Blitz Talrand was the real-time game. That one was interesting. I don't know that I'm cut out to play real-time games. I'm an old man. Sometimes I play some Overwatch, but I can just play the shield character in Overwatch and just not die. Be real slow. We beat Tron on the play with triple Stone Rain. Now we have to play a game on the draw where we're probably dead to rights. Hopefully they mulligan a bunch. Yeah, Reinhardt, Brigit, and Mercy. Those are my 3 characters usually. Sometimes I play Soldier 76, but I think I like the other 3 better. I don't think we have enough land destruction spells to bring in surgicals. This is something I talked about between games 1 and games 2. I think you want at least 4 ways to destroy a land before you consider bringing in surgical in a matchup like this. Does Vendilion Click fit the Liliana rule? Kinda. Vendilion Click, I think, gets a little bit of a pass in my mind because it's just a uniquely powerful card. And, like, 3 power flyers kill people very quickly. So, like, if you have a Vendilion Click with the second click stuck in your hand, you're going to, like, your opponent needs to answer your first click or they're going to die. Wet ball, wet ball, wet ball. Okie doke. Celestial Colonnade is like Reinhardt without the shield. This is certainly another concede to Ugin game. Certainly another concede to Ugin game. But I'm going to play my thing and hope they don't have stuff. But remember, the Tron deck is very, very consistent because it is effectively a 48 card deck that's got a bunch of demonic tutors in it to find whatever lands it's missing. Can we burn out Ugin if they -3? Yeah, I guess so. No, actually we can't because Creeping Tar Pit doesn't cast Lightning Helix. Tron is effectively a 48 card deck because it plays Chromatic Star and Chromatic Sphere, and it has plenty of mana, and it plays cards like Relic of Progenitus. So it has a bunch of these cheap cantrips that let it cycle through its deck for a very minimal cost. Because when you have copious amounts of extra mana, these cards are basically free. Yeah, and it gets to play Ancient Stirrings on top of all of that. The Stream Decker on mobile, you have to clear the application cache in order to have it updated. It's currently bugged. You can type !deck in chat to get a link to the deck list on mobile, just like on desktop, though. Holy gosh, do they not have anything? Do they not have anything? Please just have a bunch of Wormcoils. Geist is actually kind of okay against Karn, too, right? They definitely have cards here that could... Holy gosh, we just got to untap. Does not compute. I think I just cast Lingering Souls, right? I just cast Lingering Souls. Please continue being unlucky, Tron player. What I don't understand is how did they play nothing and not crack the sphere? Playing nothing and not cracking the sphere seems really weird. They just have like a bunch of Ulamogs in their hand. I feel like, I believe that they're just unlucky, but not cracking the sphere while being unlucky seems really, really medium. Why aren't they just like looking... Why aren't they just like looking for stuff? Alright, well this puts them to 6. So... yeah. What do they need green for? I'm gonna flash this back. Do I want to flash this back? No, not flashing that back is better against Ostone and Ugin. I don't understand. I don't understand, chat. Yes. Resolves. What is going on? What is happening? Did they forget this is here? Did they forget? This isn't how this is supposed to work, chat. We're not supposed to play Geist to St. Traft as our first play on turn 3 and then attack them to death with it. They're supposed to like, yeah, sure, okay. Wait, you didn't even cry. Is their Moto bugged and they don't see this anymore? Is our Moto bugged and they cracked this and we just didn't notice? I'm not gonna claim to understand, but I am going to accept it. I am going to accept that we have won the match. And we're gonna move along with our lives. No, it can't just be counterspells, because, like, they had Tron when I tapped out for Geist to St. Traft on 4. Like, on my turn 3, I tapped out for Geist and passed them and they had 8 mana. Tron confirmed good matchup, right? I guess. And here I was thinking Stony Silence could be a good addition to this deck, but apparently you just don't need it. And again, like this hand here, kind of illustrating in a really nice manner. People that have watched the stream, you know I'm not very high on the card Geist to Saint Traft, but like a hand like this is kind of what you need to make Geist to Saint Traft playable. If you can keep the opposing board very, very clear, Geist to Saint Traft closes the game out very quickly. It's just the problem is Modern is so creature focused, a lot of the decks that play Geist can't keep the board clear in addition to playing Geist. Alright, I kind of need to map out what my lands are doing here, right? I probably want to fetch in a way that makes Crackling Doom castable. So, Blood Crypt, Hallowed Fountain, Sacred Foundry. Yeah, Blood Crypt, Hallowed Fountain, Sacred Foundry is probably good. Okay, Lost Geist to Saint Trash. That's probably expected. Do you think that if Splinter Twin was still a deck that it would run Jace the Mind Sculptor? I honestly don't know. Probably in the sideboard. I would be surprised if it ran it main deck. But I'd be willing to be wrong on that. Yeah, we've played Endless Horizons and Goblin Charbelcher a few times on stream. I think the deck lists are on my website too. Pretty sure I added that one to the site. I don't remember at the moment though. We are a burn deck now. You are not wrong. Alright, I'm just going to get this out of here now. This does let them cast Bloodbraid Elf next turn, potentially, but it also leaves us open to cast a 3-drop next turn if we draw it. They're at a virtual 7. That's ambitious. We're a control deck at our core, remember? So these cards aren't really turning into burn spells until our opponent gets themselves a little bit lower. I don't think they're low enough, even with sending all of these at their dome. I think at this point in the game, we are not at a point where Bob is on our team. I think we're at a point in the game where we need to kill Dark Confidant. Oh, this land can't get Sacred Foundry. Okay, so I messed up. I should have fetched Hallowed Fountain with Polluted Delta, and then I just drew Sacred Foundry anyways, because I'm a goddamn master. Stone Cold Wizard. Gideon is great in this format, I think. He's very, very powerful, proactive card. It's a 4-mana Planeswalker that does what you want to be doing in Modern, which is kill your opponent. A good Bloodbraid Elf here could kill the Gideon. Treetop Village plus Bolt also kills the Gideon. I mean, any land was good there. Second red was just, like, ideal. Doth thou have a second bolt? Second Tarmogoyf here is pretty good, too. They know about all the cards in our hand. Playing this out into my removal that they know about seems a little loose. But I guess there aren't that many creatures in graveyards anyways. And Colonnade's potentially online with our next land drop here too, which is great. They only knew about one Helix. You might be right. Raging Ravine's annoying, although I guess it doesn't have trample. So they're attacking in with this because they do know about this lightning bolt. Alright, let's just kill him. That's a good one, yeah. That's a good one. It's a piece of candy, chat. It's a piece of candy. There is a deck list on your screen. If you don't have access to the Stream Decker widget currently, you can type !deck in chat to get a link to the deck list. Listen, chat, never forget, if you have to choose between being lucky and being good, choose being lucky every single time. Every single time, choose being lucky. It's a good series of Ripperinos on our part there. Good series of Ripperinos. I think this is similar to how we boarded against the other deck. I'm going to cut these Countersqualls. I'm going to bring in, against the green black rectangle, I'm going to bring in Engineered Explosives and a Collective Brutality and call it a day. Also remember, if you haven't been here for the entirety of while we've been streaming this live, this is our fourth match in this league. We are currently 2-1. My YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. 100% of the games I play get archived there, and I break them up by deck, so you get to watch just the matches that you care about very easily. I think Collective Brutality is better than Blessed Alliance here, because on turn 2, we want to be killing Dark Confidant in most games. Also, Collective Brutality is just a little bit more reach, which is nice. Juggernauts with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much for that. No, there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month. Tron is up next. So the decks that are still listed in the stream title are decks that I have yet to play. I think second Tasigur is fine. I think you're not going to draw both Tasigurs most games. The only card I'm not really on board with in this deck is I think this Liliana, the Last Hope, probably adds needless stress to the mana base. The mana base is pretty reasonable with all the fetches that are in this deck, but playing multiple doubled colored cards I think is a great way to end up not being able to cast your spells. So I think this Last Hope is kind of silly. Honestly, I probably wouldn't mind a second Gideon, or even just like anything else really. I think the Last Hope is a little ambitious. What type of matches is this deck good? And I have no idea. So for those that are new to the stream, this is a viewer submitted deck list. We are playing through it here in a league for the first time. So this is my 4th match with the deck. I don't think this is really a Nahiri or Teferi matchup. I think if we wanted another Planeswalker, I like Gideon. I like killing them dead. Exile, thank you for the 4-month resubscription there. Thanks for the third of a year of support. Yeah, 3-mana Gideon could be okay, because we already have 1 double white card. Zendikar Gideon is rad, Chad. He's pretty fly. This hand needs some land, but it's pretty reasonable. I'm a big fan of the don't mulligan much against decks full of discard spells school of thought, so I'm definitely going to keep this. It's mostly functional. We're just a Jeskai deck here, right? We're going to fetch Sacred Foundry with this Flooded Strand and be on our way. I think Crackling Doom is sweet. One of the things that Jeskai decks can sometimes struggle with is not having enough spot removal for large threats. So Crackling Doom, in addition to being extra reach, is also more ways to kill Tasigurs and Tarmogoyfs and Gurmag Anglers and stuff like that in these colors. I think more than 1 to 2 Dooms is probably silly, but ooh, look, our Celestial Colonnade's a rainbow land now. Thank you, opponent. I appreciate the help. Alright, so we drew the Marsh Flats right away here. So how do I want to sequence my lands now? So this is going to get Sacred Foundry. This will probably get Godless Shrine. That seems reasonable. There's a deck list on your screen. If you need a link to the deck list, you can type !deck in chat. Chat, this is very important. Every time a lightning bolt kills a Tarmogoyf, an angel gets its wings. Chalulu, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime support and welcome. I also love that this mana base has fit 1 of each basic in. I think that's pretty big. I think Field of Ruin is the card that punishes mana bases that are greedy more than anything else in Modern right now. So by playing 1 of each basic, we insulate ourselves against that a little bit. Someone's asking about the Extirpates. I think the Extirpates are just worse than Surgicals. I'm not sure why we have Extirpates in the board before the 3rd and 4th Surgical. All right, what am I doing here? How? Yeah, do I wanna just play Snap here? I think it's discard Geist, play Snap. And then like smack this. And then honestly, just like Snap Bolt to finish her. Snap Bolt Snap. Thank you very much for the support. I appreciate that. So I probably want Watery Grave, so I have a black source. It means we can't cast Lightning Helix though, which sucks if we draw it. Am I okay discarding Creeping Tar Pit to Liliana? Why or why not? I don't think so. So I'm just going to go ahead. So I could trade this when they plus the Liliana here, but I think I'd rather just take her off the table. I think we just Snap Bolt her now because I'm pretty content with all the cards in my hand. We have the mana pips to fire up a Creeping Tar Pit as well here, which is great. Basically any threat they can play out we cover with this Path to Exile, which is nice. Huh. I think I just play Geist here, right? I think I just play Geist here and pass. There's a Tarmogoyf in their graveyard and a Geist in ours, so I can't attack in here because I'll be able to make a 3/3. But I think Geist Go is good. We are currently 2-1 in this league, Asim. Up a game here against Jund. We have one card left. If they don't find a discard spell for this Path to Exile, we should be pretty far ahead here. That hurts a little bit. Even with this discard spell between Creeping Tar Pit and Lingering Souls, we could still pull out ahead this game. So we are no longer ahead, but I think we're about at parity here, right? Any untapped land here lets us go Souls, Flashback Souls, which is great. Also, I could just, like, animate Tar Pit Smash for infinite here, right? Like, trade Geist to St. Traft for 4, 7, 11 points of damage. Yeah, if we miss the land drop, I might just trade Geist for damage here. How do we feel about trading Geist for damage here? I kind of like it. So they'll get to kill Geist, and there's a Tarmogoyf in the bin. So that means they will get to go up to 15 health, basically. I think we're supposed to wait. Yeah, I think we're supposed to wait. I think I'm just going to cast this, let them eat the back half, and then, like, starting next turn, I just get to 5 them, and they can't block it. Yeah, I think this is better for us. Just, like, go do your thing. This Helix represents a lot of damage too if we draw some more lands, which is nice. I can't hold up Helix, Drew. Also, we can't get them on the Scavenging Ooze because they have multiple green sources. So, like, if they eat Tarmogoyf and we Helix them, they just eat Tarmogoyf again in response. Okay, I mean, I feel like we're ahead here now, right? Like, they have no cards in hand and we have, like, 5 damage they can't block. They can gain 1 more health going up to 15, but it seems like a pretty good spot for us. Yeah, we have Lethal in 2. How did cars go? We went 3-2, losing to Blue-White Control twice. I kill you. It's been a couple of months. Can't wait for Grixis Faye. Thank you for the 3-month resubscription there. I do appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Never forget, chat. Magic is easy if you're a professional player. This is why some people are professional Magic players and other people are not. We are far luckier than other people. Far, far luckier. Even if they rip a Damnation here, we still have Creeping Tar Pit. So, beep, beep. Hop in my Geist to St. Traft shaped Jeep and run them down here. Tar Pit is a great creature land. This deck, Tar Pit and Colonnade are arguably the two best creature lands, so, you know, this deck gets to play both of them. Alright, got him. Magic the Gathering is a low variance game. Yep. Alright. Alright, 3-1. Confirmed at minimum, we are a modern deck. Confirmed at minimum, we are a modern deck. See if we can snag the last one here or not. There are a lot of good creature lands. I think, in my opinion, Tar Pit and Colonnade are the best of them. Tar Pit and Colonnade are the best of them, in my opinion. What matchup did we concede? Ponza. Got paired. Our loss was Ponza because they Malvolied. They played Trinisphere on 2, Acid Moss on 3, and I was like, nope, out of it. Check it out. The Warhammer game is called Warhammer Champions. It's Age of Sigmar Champions, so it is based on their fantasy IP. I would love to play first. Chat, who got a Path to Exile in our Grixis control deck? Who shuffled a Path to Exile in our Grixis control deck? I'm not a big fan of the Eternal card game. I think Magic and games like it are really miserable in a best of one setting. Any game that has resource variance in it needs to be best of 3 for me to not find it incredibly frustrating. I also think the opening hand algorithm in Eternal is incredibly lazy and removes some of my interest in playing the game because it restricts your deck building in a way that's very uninteresting. Hit that. Hashtag never didn't have it. Quagmire's fine. It's playable. Is that another Jund deck? We should like play green-black 3 times this league. I think we actually just played against green-black 3 times this league. Deal. What's the worst creature land? Lava Claw Reaches. Ask me about Needle Spires. Needle Spires is better than Lava Claw Reaches, Burgle. You shut your mouth. I think we can all pretty much agree that the second set of creature lands is much weaker than the first, right? Sorry, I'm talking explicitly about the 2-colored creature lands. The Treetop Village cycle obviously has some real stinkers in it. I think Shambling Vent is actually pretty reasonable. Yeah, Treetop Village and Mutavault are probably my picks after Creeping Tar Pit and Colonnade. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think Vents is probably the best of the new ones. I'm gonna shock this in since I drew this Helix. Unfortunately, this is the first game where we haven't really had a clock. So we're not doing very well on like the card advantage front here. Like we're getting 2 for 1 by this Bloodbraid Elf. Hopefully we're gonna be able, I guess we're gonna start turning the corner with our creature lands a little bit here. Man, I can't even imagine Fumarole if it was May Change. Then it wouldn't die to Lightning Bolt ever, which is great. Okie-doke. Alright, dead in 3 to my Celestial Colonnade. So, do I bin Tar Pit here or Marsh Flats? If I bin the Flats, I can't activate Colonnade next turn. Well, am I supposed to assume they have removal? They didn't have Fatal Push last turn for my Creeping Tar Pit. If they have a Fatal Push here, I'm gonna feel really bad. Like this is a game-winning Fatal Push if they have one here. All right, dodge that one. We've got Kolaghan's Command with the Snapcaster Mage in the bin. We've got Helix and Squall and Kolaghan's Command to flash back afterwards. I think basically wins an overstatement. I need like another Path to Exile or a Crackling Doom or something to like lock up a large threat from the opponent. Maelstrom Pulse, nice 3-2. Woo! Woo! Oh, when it's hot, chat. When it's hot, it's hot. Woo! 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 That one well, might be a little bit good. Teensy-weensy bit good. Geist is very good when your opponent can't kill it. How's the sun this time of year? The lights are bright in here, chat, and I'm worried I might be heating up too much. Well, I guess they didn't attack with this, so I just take 3 here. To not let them know what's going on. Because they play like a discard spell post-combat. I don't want to wait to do this. So I would like to pick up this. I would like to kill this. That's true. Drawing hot is easy when your deck is filled with fire. We are 3-1. Oh, come on. This just isn't even fair. This is... Alright, I'm gonna cast the Gideon. Because why not? I'm feeling hot, hot, hot. Do you have any comment on Alex Bertoncini and paper since he released about him cheating? I think once you've had your second chance, you should probably be done. I agree with the sentiment that Wizards of the Coast does not take a hard enough stance on people cheating in Magic. Yeah, we're going to be playing Green Tron in the league after this to wrap the day up. All right, so you're dead to known information. You're dead on board in 2 different ways. And I'm up a minute and a half on clock, and nobody's timing out this match. You're just wasting our time. Got it? I'll Helix your Treetop Village for good measure, though. All right, so we played against a lot of green-black in this league. So we're going to trim the Countersqualls and bring in Brutality Explosives and call it a day. Now, they had no cards in hand, chat. This deck is like a refuge for people fleeing the banning of Deathrite Shaman and 4-color Leovold. What's my thoughts on Hardened Scales of Fan? I think that deck's really sweet. I think it's got a lot of play to it, and it's doing something objectively very powerful. We're hitting the Tron button before Watsy can hit it for us. In Souls, Tasigur, K-Command, and Snapcaster, it's sort of shocking to me that Thought Scour is not in this deck. We have one Azcanta. Oh, you mean we do have Azcanta? So, the problem with Thought Scour, Burgle, is just, like, it's a card that doesn't impact the board, right? So, like, this deck is full of cards that may have a meaningful impact. So I kinda don't mind no Thought Scour. I guess you could, like, trim the main deck Brutality and, like, the Countersqualls and, like, the Last Hope, maybe. But I kind of don't mind just, like, having no medium stuff, all action. Again, don't mulligan functional hands against decks full of discard. This is our Jeskai black, Mardu blue, Esper red deck, and it's quite excellent. Would you put Stoneforge Mystic in this deck if it was legal? Yeah, probably. This would probably be a pretty good Stoneforge Mystic deck. Have a land, friend. You're chiller, right? You're in control. That's what we decided on, right? You're in control. Stone Rain. That is incredibly rude, opponent. Why would you bring in Stone Rain to try and punish my shaky mana base? I think Lingering Souls in conjunctions with a plethora of spot removal is plenty to handle creature-based decks, most likely. I could see maybe wanting a sweeper of some sort in the board, but I think something like Young Pyromancer doesn't really make sense. Young Pyromancer tends to shine in decks that are full of cantrips or card selection. Man, these Maelstrom Pulses have not been good for the opponent. See, opponent? You shouldn't have Stone Rained me. Then you would have had Lingering Souls tokens to Maelstrom Pulse. And you would have had Lingering Souls tokens to Maelstrom Pulse. So long, Snapcaster, my old friend. Sophia, thanks for checking out, honey. I appreciate it. Welcome. How much for me to build 4-color aggro sometimes? Yeah, 50 is always good for you want me to build it. I'm good on building decks of most reasonable requirements for 50. Sure. Now, if they want to fire up Raging Ravine, we just race. Deal. We've played Lightning Angel on stream before. That card's sweet. Catching us right at the tail end here, Armadillo. And we actually boarded out of 4-color control into blue-white control for this game. This is game 2 here against Jund. Boarded into blue-white. Ain't even need to cast our spells, chat. Ain't even need to cast our spells. Alright, so deck was confirmed. Deck is confirmed good against green-black. Thoughts. I like the spells in this deck. You're gonna die to Ponza and Blood Moon, but like that just comes with the territory. This is greedy and bad. Cut this. This is one of the ways you make the mana base consistent in a deck like this is to minimize the amount of double colored spells you have, and playing this in the main is greedy and silly. What would I play instead? Probably another Collective Brutality could be fine. I think that could be okay. Honestly, just like minimizing some of your black sources early so you don't need to fetch them till later turns is like probably fine. This was a very good Geist of the St. Traft deck. I think people put Geist of St. Traft into a lot of decks it doesn't belong in Modern, but I think Geist of St. Traft is good and belongs in this deck. I do. I don't understand why there's Extirpates in this sideboard over Surgical Extraction. Crackling Ironworks is a mana ability, which means you can respond to Extirpate with it, which means the split second doesn't really matter there. So I think playing Extirpate before you just like max on Surgical Extractions is probably a mistake. I think we were really lucky to beat Tron. I think I would want another Wet Ball or an Alpine Moon or something like that in the sideboard, most likely. I can see 4 Surgicals just being fine just because you have 4 Snapcaster Mages, and then Surgical plus Snapcaster Mage plus a clock, you could beat up on some people. Crackling Doom is good. I think Crackling Doom is fine. I think this style of archetype tends to have a hard time killing some things that are big past Path to Exile, and Crackling Doom being ways 5 and 6 to kill large things seems good. So, yeah, I think the core of this deck is really sweet. I think, like I said, the mana base was really clean and really consistent. I think the only change I would make in the main deck is cutting the Liliana. Brutality is just like such an excellent flexible card. I feel like if you were curious and wanted to make changes in the deck, the cards, or if you wanted to like adjust the main deck and the main deck for like the metagame you expect, I feel like these 5 cards are probably like these are slots you can play with to kind of like add more removal or add more counter spells or add more discard spells depending on what you predict to be good. But I really kind of like, or the Search for Azcanta too. I really kind of like this core of 30 cards here. I think all of these spells are really good. I think Tasigur is great. I think Tasigur is a large threat that's very mana efficient to play when you play it. You can often play Tasigur while leaving up other removal. In the control matchups, it's able to grind. It's a pseudo removal spell because it can block Tarmogoyf and Hallowed One. So I think the Tasigur is excellent. And I think cutting the Tasigur is kind of silly. So I am a big fan of the Tasigur. Honestly, I could see an argument that like Search for Azcanta and Gideon are like similar-ish cards, but Gideon kind of beats down better. Dragon Bolas sounds kind of sweet. Okay, yeah. If I was gonna play this deck again, I would try 1 or 2 Dragon Bolas in it. I think Dragon Bolas sounds incredibly hot. That card is a card that I think is probably playable somewhere in Modern, and this sounds like a sweet spot to try it. I like me 4/4 flyers, chat. They close the game real quick. That's a good suggestion. If you're torn between playing blue-white and Mardu, just play this instead. Greenless Greed. That's a good name as well. All right, so what am I doing? Don't cut a Geist. Geist is great.